welcome back to Learner Labs. Today we'll be looking at number operations part 1, which is addition. Check out my last video. We covered the basic properties of numbers and the types of number systems and many more interesting things about numbers. I'll put the video link in the description or click here for quick access. Addition. Addition is basically when you find the total of two or more numbers or items. For example, if you have an apple and your friend has 3 apples, how many apples do you both have in total? Well, I know that you have 4 apples. I know that because I used our first strategy, counting. Counting is when you place your hand on an object and count 1, 2, 3, 4. So here it's 1, 2, 3, and 4 apples. So I can count with my hand that there are 4 apples. Another way to visualize this is to imagine that they all are in the same group. That way you can imagine it way better while counting. Next to our second strategy, which is number line. This strategy is called the number line strategy. For example, let's add 3 and 6. Initially, we mark the first number, 3, on the number line. Then we jump from 3 towards the right, the number of jumps equal to the second number, which is 6. So we jump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 jumps, and we land on 9, which means that our answer is 9. Let's move on to addition but with more digits. We saw addition with 1-digit numbers was pretty easy because we could just count it with our fingers. But as we add more digits, counting with fingers is not really the best way to add. You can do it, there's no problem, but it takes a lot more time. Now let's look at the strategy called the stacking method. This is the most simple and the fastest method to do addition. Stacking method is the method when you arrange the numbers one below the other and is added right to left column-wise. I'll show you how to use it using an example. Let's add the numbers 15 and 12 in the stacking method. We stack the two numbers like this, 15 over 12 or 12 over 15. It doesn't really matter while adding. Then we choose the rightmost digit from both the numbers and add them. After adding them, we write the sum below the two digits, which is right there. So here, the sum is 7, and we write the 7 right there. Then we move on to the second column from the right. Then we do the same, finding the sum and write it under right there. Here, the numbers are 1 and 1, which is 2. So we write 2 here. Then the number you have is the sum of the 2 or more numbers you added. In this case, the sum is 27. To stack numbers. We saw how to normally stack numbers, but there is a scenario when the numbers have different number of digits. For example, let's add 15 and 109. They both have different number of digits. 15 has 2, while 109 has 3. In this case, we arrange them according to their place value, although units or ones column should line up and the tens column should line up, so on and so forth. Like this, the ones column has 9 and 5. The tens column has 0 and 1. The hundreds column has 1 because there's no more tens. We are still confused as how to stack numbers. No problem. Just add zeros to the left of the numbers less digits and make the digit count of both numbers same. That is, the number of digits in 109 is 3, while in 15 it's only 2. So we add zeros to the left of the number 15 to make the number of digits as 3. Or we could use 015 instead of 15. Now we can add 015 and 109. Another rule of addition. When using the stacking method, you may run into a situation where when you're adding the stacked digit, the sum is more than 10. In this situation, you use a rule called carryover. So I've arranged the numbers 17 and 25 for the stacking method. So we add the rightmost digits here, which is 7 and 5, and we write the sum below. And the sum is 12. It has 2 digits, but I can't fit it in one spot. That's why we introduce a new spot up there, which belongs to the second column, not the first column. Then we move the 2 over here and the 1 up there. And then we do normal addition with the second column, but including the 1 we got. So it's 1 plus 1 plus 2, which gives us 4. With this, I can conclude that the sum is 42. Let's get a bit advanced and do 3-digit addition. So let's add 120 and 234. So let's arrange the numbers to do the stacking method. 120 about 234. Vice versa, it doesn't really matter. So we do the rightmost column, which is 0 and 4, which gives us the sum 4, and we write it under and move on to the second column, which has 2 and 3, which gives us the sum 5. We write that under and move on to the last column, which has 1 and 2, which gives us the sum of 3. We write that under, and the number we are left with is the sum. So I can conclude that the sum here is 354. 3-digit addition, but with carryovers. So let's add 218 and 925. So I've arranged them for the stacking method. Now I use the rightmost column, which here is 8 and 5. I write the answer under it. But the answer is 13. It has 2 digits, but I can only write 1 digit. So in this case, we introduce a new box up there, and then we move the 3 here and the 1 up there. Then we do the normal addition on the second column, but including the 1. So it's 1 plus 1 plus 2, which is 4. Then we move on to the third column. Third column has 2 and 9. 2 plus 9 is 11. This means that we have to do a carryover. But as there's no more digits to do carryover, just write the numbers as it is. This thing only works if there's no digits to the left and you have a carryover. With this, I can conclude that the sum is 1143. Advanced carryovers. Let's add 4,278 and 8,146. So I arranged them for the stacking method. I arranged 4,278 on top of 8,146. You can do vice versa, but it doesn't really matter. So go to the rightmost column, which is 8 and 6. I write the sum below it, but the sum is 14, but I only have space for 1. So I introduce a new spot on top of the next column and move the 4 here and the 1. Then I go to the second column and do addition, which is 1 plus 7 plus 4. It gives us 12, another carryover, but I have to fit it in here. So I introduce a spot on the next column. Then I move the 2 here and the 1 up there. Then I do normal addition with the third column, which is 1 plus 2 plus 1, which gives us 4. Then onto the last column, which is 4 and 8, which gives us 12. I wrote 12 here because previously we saw that if there's no more columns on the left to do carryover, we can easily just write the number down. So I can conclude that the sum is 12,424. We can possibly use the same strategy for as much big number with as much digits as you can possibly imagine. Addition to addition. Any number plus 0 is always the same number. Any number plus 1 is the successor of the number. Both numbers being added are called addend, and the answer is always called a sum. Changing the order in which addends are added does not change the sum. For example, 4 plus 8 plus 10 equals 8 plus 4 plus 10, which gives the same answer, which is 22. This is also called the commutator property. While adding, we can group any two numbers first. It does not change the sum. For example, 4 plus 8 plus 10 is 22, and 10 plus 4 plus 8 equals 22. The brackets mean that we are basically adding it first. This is also called the associative property. Thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and the like button. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so that whenever I post a new video, you'll get notified. See you next time, people. Peace.